Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Oh. God damn it. I'll take pulls on my fucking shit. Now. I didn't mean to end it.
Aren't we all craving success?
Yes, indeed. Hit the like and subscribe.
Trying to make the world a better place. Wanting to create a better future. A livable future. So much so that it wears us down. Only to realize that once we find it, once we perfect it, we can lose ourselves in it. And reap what we sow. There's no going back. But there's always hope. Hope that someone or something out there will save us from the tyranny.
Oh, kitty cat. Meow. 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 Oh, that's tough. Woo! Rah, rah. My turbo button. Let's go mow through some enemies. Oh! Alright, thanks, buddy. Ooh! Okay. Ooh, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. That's sweet. Wait. 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 Something like that. Oh, here we go. Nice. Ah, that's awesome. Oh wait. Here. Oh. No, no! No! 12 minutes. Alright. Alright. Kingdom Guns. Kingdom Guns. Here we go. Alright, up next here we got Kingdom Guns. gonna test this thing out, see what's made. Takes us right in right away. There's a storyline, I don't know what that is. I don't know what I'm doing. That seems to be a grenade of some sorts. This is one of those shit stuff. So crazy. What? Oh, what was that? Oh, that's fun. Oh! What's awesome? So... Oh. Yeah, old school. I like this game. Ah, shit. Oh. Hey, how come I can't punch you? I can't punch him no more. Ah, I couldn't punch. What's letting me punch? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Ah! Chance to just for free. That's awesome. Oh. That sucks. Oh boy. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, lovely. Wow. See if we can't get some weapons. Alright. Hey! Wow, that chainsaw sucks. Let me just stand, like, literally right in front of you. Just hold still, hold still, hold still. Oh, a different boss. I did it! Ooh, look at what I got. Okay, that's cool. No! Hey! Oh no, wait a minute. Goku! Oh, we gotta get Goku! Oh. Oh, it's 30 minutes. Awesome game. Definitely buy it when it comes out. Definitely recommend go trying out the demo. Good. On to the next one. Alright, coming up next here is Mothman, 1966. Three red and 5 black in the discard pile. Of the 6 cards facing up on the counter, 2 are red, 4 are black. Oh jeez. So you have to bet now. I'm not paying attention. A large majority of the face-up cards are black. And you know that betting against a streak is usually dangerous. Even though you're already chosen, you decide to stay away from the counter. You can't bear losing again. You think of your grandma, Elsie, trying to win at solitaire for over 60 years. You take a deep breath and keep sweeping. Elsie's been paralyzed from the waist down since she was 21. Your mom only 2 months old. Your mom was only 2 months old. The winter Elsie taught you to play solitaire, your parents and sister had been dead for almost a year. And then you'd already begun to forget their faces. Although you cook for her, do your laundry, bathe, and even dress her, it still feels like she's the one taking care of you. Close your eyes and almost feel like Elsie's stroking your hair. You're 11 years old again, kneeling next to her bed, crying your heart out. Suddenly, the bell rings, and you feel an invisible force trying to drag you into the present. You decide to stay for a few more seconds at the edge of your grandma's bed, your fingers running through your hair, pushing away the images that haunt you. You hear the bell a second time, and then a third. Now you know it can't be a customer. Those fucking kids. You don't know what comes over you, but you yell some things at them, and you're too ashamed to remember. You justify yourself thinking they might be the ones who got your garage that night and stole your parts from the replica machine gun you're building. You won't let anyone mess with your project. The Winan steam machine gun is a jewel of your collection. The kids yell at you, "Oh, freak!" and laugh, sheltered by the distance. Deep down, you know that it can't be them. How would they know which parts of the machine gun were worth selling? Stealing. Anyway, that dark job's being brought over in a few days, and you'll be able to stop worrying. You think about what someone told you at the bar about replacing the hose with a thicker one so that it could be activated by the weight of the car. So it could only be activated by the weight of the car. And what happens if the kids with their bikes and land on top of the hose with one of their wheels, you asked? Kids are always going to find some way to bust your balls, they replied. Go back in. You try to calm down. You look at the shelves and think of the solitaire your grandma taught you. Grandma always said that everybody has a place in the world, and that people keep dancing around it without ever reaching it. To win the solitaire, you have to stop dancing. You know the chances of winning are incredibly low, almost zero. You can't bring yourself to turn over the next card and decide to start sorting the shelves instead. Doing simple jobs builds up your self-confidence and provides you with some illusion of control. You scratch your head. This time, sorting the shelves doesn't help. You feel the same urgency as before, and you can't think of anything else. Is the card going to be black? You need it to be black. Suddenly, the air seems heavy, and you find it a bit difficult to breathe. 3 men in black are staring at you. Through the window, you see a black Cadillac by the pump. Yes? You wish you'd ask them how they got into the station without you hearing the door open. Or how they left the car there without the bell ringing. But that trembling, yes, was the only thing that he managed to utter. The moose. The moose? After a few seconds of not receiving any response, you decide to break the silence. Continue straight until the first crossroads and then turn right. After a while, you'll see a bar past the barn with the painted cross. Can't miss it. None of the men in black open their mouths. Every second that passes, the smile on your face feels more and more ridiculous. The moose. You bought a woman a whiskey. You don't know if it's the right move, but you try to relax and be more friendly. Do you know of a more effective way to socialize? This guy knows what I'm talking about. You told her the dream about your grandma. The chill runs through your body. It's been a few weeks since that night. Even though you have a good time with Martha, you have no regrets. Something about the way these men in black ask their questions makes you uneasy. What? What do you want to know? Granny in the forest. One of the men farther back lets out a crackling noise. You look at him, believing he's laughing, but the man in black's expressionless face doesn't change. Why do you want to know? No one answers. It's not like they're waiting for another response. I guess. Tell you about my dream. My grandmother has been bedridden for over 60 years, but in the dream I saw her running through the woods. Start from the beginning. And don't omit any details. You don't know if the way they look at you or because of the certain authority in their voice. But you can tell them everything about the dream. But you tell them everything about the dream. Sorry. 5 or 6 weeks ago, you woke up in the middle of certain that something. 5 or 6 weeks ago, you woke up in the middle of the night, certain that something had happened to your grandmother. You ran out to her room, and LZ wasn't in bed. The window was wide open. You ran to it and saw someone walking through the trees. It was her. And she was holding a rifle of some kind. Something your ancestors would have carried in the Civil War. You tried calling out to her. Your grandma started running and shot 2, 3 times into the blackness of the forest. You were about to run down and find her when a winged figure with glowing red eyes appeared in front of the window, screamed. You stumbled backwards, and after hitting your head on the bedpost, you lost consciousness. You woke up in your bed and remembered the dream almost instantaneously. You woke up. You went up the stairs 2 at a time and opened the door to her room. Your grandmother slept peacefully on the bedside table. The glass of milk you bring her every night, and the deck of cards she uses to play solitaire. During the days that followed, you tried to conceive yourself. You tried to convince yourself that it had all been a dream. Even though you couldn't explain where the little stitches at the base of your skull had come from. After a few seconds, one of the men speaks again. spots on her legs predate her birth, Holt. What? What is he talking about? Is he referring to the dozen of moles on your grandma's leg? And what do they mean by those spots? Predate her birth. Elsie always makes some same joke when you sponge her calves. Be thankful that you have to clean my legs and not my grandfather's. According to what she told you, her granddad had been shot dead by an experimental weapon early in the Civil War when his legs were ripped to shreds. The Winnis steam gun, son. A machine gun that doesn't appear in any book. You think about the replica you're putting together in the workshop and you wonder if it was the men in black who had stolen those pieces. You're not telling anyone else about this visit, Holt. You start to complain when one of the men picks up a card from the counter. The top card of the deck. The crunch horrifies you. The teeth of that man seem to tear more than simply paper. Desperate, you throw yourself under the counter to look for the card. Your heart is pounding. You look out the window and you don't see the Cadillac. You walk to where the car was parked a few moments ago. You step up on the hose. And the bell rings. What the fuck? Jack Diamonds. Motherfucker, it's red. You think about the edge of one of the men in black tore off. And you remember the noise he made when he chewed it. Was it a threat? A warning? You wonder if you should tell your grandma everything that happened or just keep your mouth shut. And keep playing solitaire with a marked card. This is a demo version of Mothman 1966. We're now going to skip a chapter and take you directly to chapter 2. Alright. After a tense journey, Victoria and her boyfriend, Lee, have just arrived at Holt's gas station. Lee has planned a special date for Victoria, watching the Leonid meteor showers together. Lee turns off the car and looks you in the eye. Oh, Lee. Alright, this will be the last one we do. I'll do this once, what's her name, story is over with. I'm gonna call it a break. Before you can open your mouth, Lee taps you on the leg. Lee. Wait here, Vic. I swear, you won't believe it. You bite your lip and take a deep breath. You see him greet someone. Holt? Lee had written Holt Station on the map. He'd thrown on your lap 20 minutes ago. He'd written it by hand, and it might as well have said Holt Station or Held Station. Well, Held Station even. Lee's handwriting was always a bit intriguing to you. You remember that time that you mentioned to him, and he responded with a disappropriate anger? That non-rational rant which involved several philosophical of language, and it's all because you told him his handwriting was dreadful. But you know where those reactions come from? That night you two got drunk by the lake. Lee told you that his father would have wanted to be born ugly. After the initial surprise, you couldn't stifle a belly laugh, and Lee looked down. For a few minutes, he didn't want to tell you anything else. You finally convinced him to continue. I'd always got what I wanted just by smiling. Ugly people have developed other muscles. Unfortunately, those other muscles are the ones that last. You couldn't believe the words that had come out of that mouth, of the flesh and blood human being. Maybe some poorly written character from a cheap romance novel. But Lee's father? You pictured Lee last night, throwing pebbles from the shore while telling you everything about his father's teachings. And all that frustration was the night that you got pregnant. You both been drinking. Suddenly you find it difficult to breathe. And the interior of the car is like getting smaller and smaller. You feel you need some air. Holt, right? Holt seemed startled. Hello. This is Victoria, my girlfriend. Be right back, Vic. You seen them walk away with a box they took out of the trunk. And from the efforts Holt putting into it, it seems heavy. What's inside the box? You're not stupid. You know Lee has some business inside beyond the work of an intern at a university. You heard some rumors that you have your suspicions. However, you did not do much digging. You preferred to keep it mystery. Something to make Lee a little more interesting. You light up a cigarette. Would Lee have been a good father? And the question you still haven't had the courage to ask, would you be a good mother? The clicks repeat at irregular intervals. Small moths approach the light and get entangled, electrocuted. Is that love, Victoria? You laugh and shake your head from side to side. You think that all the manuscripts you've torn up, you've tried poetry, drawing, history seemed like an obvious choice. You don't need any talent to be a historian. Hello? The man talks to himself while holding something in his hand. Have you seen any winged creature flying over the area yet? For a moment, you think he's asking some kind of tricky question and you remain silent. However, something about him tells you that he's genuinely asking. You look at the man bathed in the shine of the streetlight and the scene fascinates you. Surreal. Some of your old friends would have said. The ones that organized poetry nights and read Lautréamont's. Excuse me, who are you? Oh, yes. Sorry. Here. Lou here. Writer. Victoria Greenberg. Historian, student. Wing and trinkets, Mr. Hill. Lou, please. Can I call you Victoria? You nod. I'm looking into a dozen's reports, Victoria. Numerous witnesses claim to have seen human-sized winged creatures flying over the area. Agents. Lou smiles, but the smile doesn't last long on his face. Look here, at the top of these trees. It won't take you long to find one. You aim at the lower area, Lou. You aim at the area low, Lou just told you. Everything's blurry, so you decide to adjust the binoculars. Just the focusing wheel. Move to the left. More left. More left. More left. More left. Ah! It was just a second, but you think you saw something up there. Was it a suggestion? I don't think they're angels, Victoria. But before I tell you my theory, I need your help. Could you draw on this notebook what you just saw? Yes. At any other time, you'd have refused some witty comment, but there's something about Louis Hill that invites you to play along. You wonder if the fact that he's presented himself as a writer and had something to do with it. Draw the head. Oh my, I have to remember what it looked like. Chest with huge wings. Wide chest with short arms and wings. Chicken wings, they have chicken wings. Human chest? Yeah. Yeah. You think about the time that you showed your sketches to your art teacher and how he embarrassed you in front of the class. What? Sorry. I was talking to myself. You can't help but blush. Victoria! For once you're glad to hear Lee's voice. Oh, that's Victoria. Sorry. All good. Altogether, he seems to be talking to you. Lee keeps staring at Lou. Lou Hill. Righto. Lou holds out his hand. Lee Miller, historian. Lee walks over and puts his arms around you. His back to Lou. You know he must have been annoyed that Lou introduced himself as a writer. Although it's hard for you to admit it, you like to be hugged. You feel safe. You think you would also feel safe in your grandmother's arms, or the arms of any other strong woman in your family. But the heat of Lee's body and the hardness of his muscles. You remember all those biologist arguments you hate so much, and you can't help but smile. It's like you're cheating when nobody's looking. Come on, Vic. Let's see the surprise. Close your eyes. You close your eyes and let Lee guide you. Now open them. So, what do you think? A romantic dinner for two under the same meteor shower that amazed our ancestors. You instinctively put your hand to your belly, and when you realize, you quickly put it in your pocket. You look at the dog tied to the post. The dog growls in the dark. You reached the end of the demo. Thanks for playing. Stay tuned for the full release of Mothman 1966. You know, I think this is based on a true story. I can't remember the story, but Mothman 1966 sounds very familiar. And I'm a weird, UFO nutter. Not that much of a nutter, obviously. I'd be able to pinpoint the exact story. But anyways, thanks for staying tuned. You like what I'm putting down, put up a like. If you're over on the Twitch, maybe hit me a subscription. You could be my first one. Yeah. You could be first. Yeah. You can. Go, right now. No. But anyways, thanks for staying tuned. I love you guys. Deuces.